Hi guys, it's Portia with Food to Your Soul by Portia. So today I want to teach you guys how to make jerk sauce. Okay, so the basic ingredients, and I have them in the chat description down below. You're going to need some fresh ginger. You're going to need some allspice. You're going to need some nutmeg, 2 limes. I usually use about 1.5 of these. You're going to need some salt. I use pink Himalayan salt. Black pepper, soy sauce, and I use the less sodium soy sauce, but you can use what you like, as long as it's soy sauce. White vinegar, brown sugar. You can cut your ginger up, which I do sometimes, or you can use the grater, which I'll be using today. You're going to need a large red onion. You're going to need Scotch bonnet peppers or habaneros. I picked these up from my local food line. These are habanero peppers. And you're going to need 4, but I like my jerk sauce spicy, so it depends on your spice level. You can add more. So I'm probably going to be adding about 5 or 6. You're going to need scallions. I always get 2 packs because I use about, let's say, maybe 10. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is a blender or processor, which I have here. A processor is pretty large. So what I usually do is start by taking the top part out, and I will be dropping my onions inside of there. After I cut it up, because that's the first thing I do, take my large onion, and I have a little cutting board that I use for cutting my onion, or you can grab a plate, because that helps as long as you don't get the onion on your counter. And I usually just kind of peel off the first couple of layers. And then I cut down the center. Then I cut both ends off like so. Now that I have it cut, you can easily just peel back the first or second layer. Sometimes I do it to the second layer, but this time it looks like I only need to do it to the first layer. And then I just chop it in smaller pieces here. And I add these to the blender, the processor rather. Uh-oh. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the second half. And I know I showed y'all how to make jerk chicken, so I didn't put how to make the sauce in. When I showed y'all, I just purchased some sauce, but I usually make my own sauce. It's so much better than the purchased sauce to me. So, cut it in half. Cut it in 3 and just drop it in. So I'm going to rinse this. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is open these scallions. I like to cut these next, so I count them out: 2, 4, 6, 7. So that means I need 3 more. So I just grab 3 and slide them out. And then I just rinse these and I'll chop away. So the first thing I'm going to do is line them up evenly as possible. And then I chop the bottoms off. They're going to be no use to us. And then from that point on, I just chop in big sections. Okay, and then I just slowly add these to my processor. So basically you're just going to add all your ingredients into the processor, and then you can store it in containers. That's what I usually do until I'm ready to use it. Or if I'm making it fresh and using it at that moment, I would just pour it over whatever I'm cooking or brush it over. I'm just going to add all of these scallions in there. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is get my measuring cup. So we can measure out our wet ingredients. So get you a spoon. And I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon and a half of salt. And I'm just using a spoon, small teaspoon. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is add my allspice and my nutmeg. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a teaspoon of the allspice, a teaspoon of the nutmeg, okay, I spilled some on my cutting board. Let me just rinse that off. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open my soy sauce, and I'm going to use 1/4 cup of soy sauce. So I don't have 1/4 on this measuring cup. So what I usually do is 1/2 of a half. And I'm actually just going to do a half because I use about 10 scallions. So I'm going to do the same thing for the vinegar. I'm going to use a 1/2 cup. And the next thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to cut a piece off of my ginger. Then I'm going to skin it. And then I'll just grate it. Over top of my cutting board. I'm going to use this side. And as you can see, I had just cut a nice sized piece. So what I'm going to do is grate about a teaspoon. And I'm going to add it. Okay. So that should be enough. And I'll just take this, scrape it up. And I have about a teaspoon. And I'll add that. Then I'm going to open my habanero. And I pluck these off, and then I rinse. I pluck that piece off, rinse them, and drop them in whole. Okay, so I rinsed off my habaneros, and since they're very large, I'm going to use 5 of them. And I'll just drop them in the blender whole. And the next thing, I went to the fridge and I got some garlic. You can use freshly grated garlic, buy it grated, or you can grate your own or chop it up however you want to do it. But if you do your own, I would say about 3 cloves. So I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons. I'm sorry, no, a teaspoon and a half. 2 teaspoons might be a bit much, so 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic here. Then I'll put that to the side, and the next thing I want to add is my brown sugar. I want to get something different to dip in my brown sugar. So I will get 1/4 cup. And I will add that 1/4 cup into the processor. And then I have some thyme here, some little pieces that I pulled out earlier. So I will drop those in. And then I will chop up my lime. Go ahead and chop it in half. Chop the other one in half. And what I like to do is get a fork. And I squeeze and I press the fork against it. I'm just going to open this so I can get it all. So, just going to squeeze. I like getting some of the little lime pieces in there when I'm squeezing it. Get a little extra flavor with the juice. And I just move the fork around and squeeze. And I do that with all 3. Move the fork around and squeeze with all 3. Half of lime, so 1.5 lime total. So, this is what my first one looked like once I finish. I'm going to do it again with another one. Then we're going to do it one more time. Okay, so that's done. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some olive oil. You can use canola oil or vegetable oil, whatever you have. I'm going to take my 1/4 cup again, and I'm going to put that in. So I just pour that inside the blender, and now we're ready to blend. We have all the ingredients in. So now we're ready to blend. So what I usually do, after I done blend it for a while, we're dropping stuff, so I'll get that in a minute. I would take this off, and I would take a small little cake spatula, and I will go around the sides, or fork or whatever, and I would just make sure everything is being blended well. I wish you guys can smell this aroma. It smells amazing. So we just start the process again. Okay guys, so I worked my TV show magic of cleaning up, but this is what the finished product looks like. So take this out, and what I'm going to do is taste it. Uh-oh. I don't know if you can see this, but that's good. It's going to be even better cooked. So I have these containers, and what I do after I make it is I pour it in these containers. And usually I try not to leave anything, and then just add tops, and you can just store it till you're ready to use it. So I have some chicken here that I'm gonna just show you. I just want to pour it on top of. And what I do is, let me just make sure it's strained well. So I'm gonna just pour it over top of this chicken and let that marinate. So you just let that marinate. And that's how you make jerk chicken. Thank you for cooking with Portia. Have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below, and I will post the recipe, the ingredients in the comment section down below. See you guys.